I put up all the lectures on the web server so far till yesterday's lecture. I have put up all the lecture on the web server. Commission, brokerage and discount. Question number 4, the first part. Find the true discount, the banker's discount and the banker's gain. True discount, the banker's discount and the banker's gain on a bill of rupees 4240. So bill of rupees 420 means that is the face value. It is rupees 4240. Bill is always the face value. It is due 6 months hence. So in 6 months and rate of interest is 9% per annum. 6 months means 6 upon 12 years. Now, from the face value, you can get the banker's discount. How would you get the banker's discount? Banker's discount is face value into N into R upon 100. It is 4240 into 6 by 12 into R by 100. So 6 twos are, this would be 2120. This is 0. This would be 12 nines are 108. 9 to 18, 190.8. Now, is there anyone who wants me to revise the concept of banker's discount and true discount? Is there anyone who wants me to revise that concept of true discount, banker's discount, banker's?
Sir,
Yeah,
sir, can you just mention the formulas all once?
yes. So that is what I said. Yeah. Here, first of all, I told you I had given you an example. I take a loan from someone, say I take 1 lakh rupees on loan from someone as on today's date. What is today's date? 6th April 2021. And I agree to pay him on 1 year later at the rate of 10%. Banks are giving only 5%, but I'm giving 10% to that money lender. I can return it to him on 6th April 2022. I'll have to pay 10% interest, simple interest. So I'll have to pay 1,10,000 along with the interest. Now, here he cannot initiate any case against me for 3 days. That is called as a grace period. So legal due date. This is the nominal due date. Legal due date is 3 days later. So it would be 9th April 2022. Now, on this day, I'll have to pay him, else the interest from that day till this day would be counted further. Now, this is the legal due date by which I'm supposed to pay him. Now, here, suppose on 9th of April, this person comes to me and says that he needs that 1 lakh rupee back. I may deny him the same by saying that I've already invested and I'm not left with any more money. So I can tell him straight away that I don't have any more money, so I won't be able to pay him. Now that is 1 lakh rupee, I won't be able to pay him. Now what he can do is, he'll be first of all making me sign on an agreement that I, Mr. So and so, have taken a loan of, and he'll represent only this amount, 1,10,000 at the rate of 10% due on 6th April 2022, and he'll make me sign on it, and he'll keep some collateral, that is he'll keep my bike papers probably, and he'll give me a loan of 1 lakh rupees, but he'll make me sign this. I owe uh, 1,10,000 at the rate of 10%, which is due on 6th April 22. Now, if I don't give him this money and if he needs it badly, he can walk to a nearby bank. He can give the bill to them and say, look, this person owes me 1,10,000. You can collect that money from him. The bank will see the collateral, and based on this, the bank will give him the loan. What the bank is going to do is, they'll charge an interest of same percentage what I have been charged by you at the rate on this particular value. This value is called as the face value because this is this is on the face of the bill. So you can say it is the face value of the bill. So on the bill you have this amount of 1,10,000. Now this on this 10% means 11,000. So the bank is going to charge 11,000 interest. They'll subtract it and they'll give back him the same amount on, they'll give him 1,10,000 minus 10%, that is 99,000. Now I counted it for 1 year. Why? Because after 3 days he has a period left of 1 year exactly before he can initiate any case against me. Banker would be considering till this date, and therefore he'll be charging interest till this date. So from this date, 9th April till 9th April is 1 year, and therefore he'll be charging me interest for 1 year on this amount, 1,10,000. Now if you can recollect what I said, suppose I say Om is a money lender from whom I took 1 lakh rupee today, 6th April 2021. I am supposed to pay him back 1,10,000 on 6th April 2022. He is charging me 10% interest. Now 3 days later he comes to me and he says, I am in dire need of money, you give me back that money without any interest. I decline to do so. He cannot initiate any case against me. The only thing he can do is he can take the paper, the bill along with him, walk to a bank, produce it there and say, look, this person owes me rupees 1,10,000 at the rate of 10%. You give me my 1 lakh back and collect 1,10,000 from him. But banker won't give him 1 lakh rupee. Banker, what he would do is he'll calculate interest on the face value at the same rate as what he is charging me, and he'll return the remaining amount to him. So on 1,10,000, an interest of 10% would be 11,000. He'll subtract that 11,000 and give him back 99,000. In this process, the banker has gained 1,000 rupees. He gave me 1 lakh rupee, but the banker gave him back only 99,000. This is called as banker's gain. Now here the interest which bank charges Om is called as banker's interest or banker's discount. The interest which Om is charging me is the true interest, or you can say true discount. So true discount is always on the present worth. True discount is always on the present worth. True discount is always interest on the present worth. So it is PNR upon 100. This true discount along with the present worth, this true discount along with the present worth adds to give me this face value. So face value is present worth plus interest on interest on present worth. This is the formula for face value. Next, here the interest which bank charges him is called as banker's discount, and it is interest on this. Banker's discount is the interest on the face value, not on the present worth. It is the interest on the face value. So banker's discount is FNR by 100. Now banker would charge that interest and return him back some money. That money is called as the cash value. So he'll return 99,000. What is cash value? It is face value minus banker's interest. This is called as cash value. So it is F minus FNR upon 100. Next, here cash value is F minus FNR upon 100. Next, legal due date is 3 days added to nominal due date. Now, here Remember, banker's gain is what? Banker's gain is the interest which banker charges Om minus the interest which Om would have charged me for the same period. So that means what banker has charged him, that is banker's discount minus the interest which Om charges me, true discount. So banker's gain is banker's interest minus true discount. So BD minus TD is banker's gain. Now, if you observe, Om was charging me 10,000 for this period and banker gained 10% on that 10,000, that is 1,000 rupees. So banker's gain is interest on present worth. Banker's gain is interest, sorry, banker's gain is interest on true discount. The interest which Om was charging me, on that interest banker gained 1,000 rupees. Actually speaking, banker has charged him 11,000, but banker doesn't count it under total profit. He says, I have gained only, I have gained, remember the words, I have gained only 1,000 rupees from it. So banker's gain is interest on true discount. So it is TD into NR upon 100. This is banker's gain. Remember these two formulae. Now, if you observe here, I can say banker's discount is banker's gain plus true discount, or rather I can say true discount plus interest on true discount. So if you know these formulae, you can easily manage all the problems of this exercise. If you have any doubt here, let me know right now before I move on to the sums. Now it is all about by hearting this formulae. So if you know these formulae well, the sums are very easy. I cannot spend much time on this. So let me know if you have any doubt or I'll move on to these sums. Now banker's discount is interest on face value. So 190.8. Om, have you followed this?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So here, now banker's discount is this. Uh, they have asked you true discount and banker's gain. Now, banker's discount is, as I said, true discount plus interest on true discount. So it is T plus TNR upon 100, where T is true discount. So it is T into 1 plus NR upon 100. What is banker's discount here? It is 190.8. It would be T into 1 plus N is what? 6 upon 12 into R is 9 upon 100. So 6 twos are, this is 209. So 190.8 equal to 209 upon 200. I had done this calculation. I don't want to spend much time here. Just let me know what is 200 into 190.8 divided by 209. What do you get there? I think it was 180 something. Can someone clarify that? Can someone clarify that? What is on the calculator?
182.58.
182.58. This is the true discount. This is the banker's discount. When you subtract the two, you get the banker's gain. So banker's gain is banker's discount minus true discount for the same period. So it is 190.80 minus 182.58. So it is equal to 83. So 7.80 and 42. So it is 8.22 rupees. This is banker's gain. Next. I'll do one thing. I'll take up all these kind of problems first and then I'll take up the remaining problems. I'll go to question number 5 of question number 4. A bill of rupees 65,700 drawn on July 10th for 6 months. The bill is of rupees 65,700. That means on the bill, the amount shown is 65,700. On 14th April and was discounted on 6th July. It was discounted on 6 July at the rate of 5% per annum. The banker paid 6930. That means the bill. Sorry, I jumped the sum. It should have been, yeah, it was discounted for rupees 65,160. That means on some day it was discounted for 65,160. This was July 10th when it was withdrawn, 10 July. And it was discounted. Discounted means he went to the bank and got it discounted at 65,160. He's done this for 6 months. July is the 7th month. From that 6th month means it would be Jan. So you would get 10th Jan the next year. Right? Now, rate of interest is 5% per annum. On what day was the bill discounted? Now observe here, we know what is the amount on the bill, that is called as the face value. We know what is the cash value, the amount which he receives. So here face value minus cash value is the banker's discount, that is the interest charged by banker. So banker's discount is face value minus cash value. So it is 540 rupees. This is the banker's discount. And banker's discount is what? It is interest on face value. So it is FNR upon 100. It is 540. What is F? 65,700 into N. Number of days for it, which it was drawn. Let us say N upon 365. I took 365 because there are 365 days in a year. 5% is the rate of interest. 5 upon 100 is equal to 540. This would give you the number of days for which banker had charged interest. Now, once you get the number of days, just go back by that many days, but not on this date. It would be till the legal due date. So, legal due date is 13 Jan. We'll have to count that many days back from 13 Jan. So, here, this is the legal due date. Legal due date is 13 Jan. Now, 573s are, and I believe they should go in 73. It should be in 9s, I guess. 3 9s are 27, 2, yes. So 900. Then 2 gets cancelled. So N is 60 days. 60 days is the period for which the interest has been charged. Now go back 60 days and find what is the date on which it was discounted. From 13 Jan, we have to go backwards. Jan, 13 days, plus December 31 days 44, and now November 14 days 34 and 16, sorry, 16 days. He has been charged an interest of 16 days in November. That means he got it discounted on 14th of November. So he got the cash, the money discounted on 14th of November. Is it correct?
Yes, sir.
Discounted on 14th of November. Next. Question number 5, the first part. A bill was drawn on 14th April. It was drawn on 14th April. And it was drawn for rupees 7,000. So 7,000 is the amount on the bill. That is the face value. And was discounted on 6 July. The person got it discounted on 6 July at the rate of 5% per annum. Banker paid 6930. What is the legal due date? So we can find the number of days for which the interest is charged, and from that we'll get the legal due date. How? We can find banker's discount or the interest charged by banker. Banker's discount is 70 rupees. Now banker's discount is the interest on face value. FNR upon 100 is 70. What is F? 7,000 into N, number of days, upon 365 into R is 5 upon 100 equal to 70. This would be 100. 100 and 100 gets cancelled, 573s are. So he has been charged interest for 73 days. That means he got it discounted 73 days before it was legally due. So on 6th July, he got it discounted. So for in July, there are 25 days left, plus in August, he would have been charged for 31 days, so that is 56. And in September, he would have been charged for the remaining 17 days, 56 plus 17. So this was legally due on 17th of September. This is legally due on 17th of September. So therefore, it is nominally due. This is the legal due date. So therefore, nominal due date is 3 days behind it. It is 14th of September. Now, this is 14th April, 14th September, 4th month, 9th month of the period of the bill is 5 months. Is it correct?
Yes, sir.
If you have any doubt, go through the videos and get your doubts cleared. Here, a bill of rupees 51,000. Bill of rupees 51,000 was drawn on 18th Feb 2010. For 9 months. This was for 9 months. This is second month. 9 month means 18th November 2010. Now for 9 months it was encashed on 28 June 2010. Encashed on 28 June 2010 at the rate of 5% per annum. Now here encashed on 28 June. Calculate the banker's gain and the true discount. A bill of rupees 51,000. So this is the face value. It was drawn on 18th Feb for 9 months and cashed on this date at 5%. Calculate the banker's gain. So here, first of all, from 28 June till 21st November, we'll have to find the number of days, that is the number of days for which interest would be charged. We know the time frame for which interest is charged. We know the amount on which interest is charged. We know the rate. We just need to find the interest which is charged. So from that, we'll get BD from it, and from BD, you'll get TD and banker's gain. How is that? Here, we'll say number of days from 28 June till 21st November. June, July, August, September, October, and November. How many days are there? In June, there are 2 days, July 31, August 31, September 30, October 31, November 21. So this is 30 into 4, 120, 123, 144, 146 days. Interest has been charged for 146. Generally, this is a multiple of 73. Now, interest has been charged for 146 days. Interest has been charged on face value 51,000 n upon 365 into rate is 5% and number of days is 146. So we get to know what is the interest charged. It is 73 twos are 73 fives are. As I said, generally it is a multiple of 73. 5 and 5 gets cancelled. 2 zeros get cancelled. This would be 1020 rupees. This is the interest charged. Now this is banker's discount, and we know that banker's discount is true discount plus interest on true discount. So I can say it is T into 1 plus NR upon 100. What is banker's discount? It is 1020. True discount into 1 plus N is number of days is 146 upon 365 into rate is 5%. So 73 twos are 73 fives are. This gets cancelled 51. So this would be TD into 51 upon 50. 51, 20. So true discount is 1000. This is the true discount. This is the banker's discount. So what is the banker's gain? It is banker's discount minus true discount. So it is 20 rupees. Is it right?
Yes, sir.
I'm doing all these sums because I believe they may give the same question in your board. So with the same numbers. So I believe if you have the answer with you, it would become easier for you to verify it. Question number 5, the fourth part. The difference between true discount and banker's discount. Banker's discount minus true discount. Always banker's discount is greater. So the difference between banker's discount and true discount on a bill due 4 months hence. So N is 4 months is rupees 20. So banker's discount minus true discount is banker's gain, that is 20 rupees, and that is interest on TD is 20. Now interest on TD is T into 1 plus NR upon 100. So T into 1 plus N is what here? It would be 4 months. So 4 upon 12 into R is 5%. 5 20s are. So here 4 3s are. So this is T 61 upon 60. This would be true discount equal to 1200 upon 61. Can you calculate it on the calculator and tell me? 1 sec, it should be. Oh, sorry, it is TNR upon 100. It is TNR upon 100, not T into 1 plus NR upon 100. So true discount is 1200 rupees. Now, once you get true discount from 1, you will get banker's discount equal to 1200 plus 20. So it is 1220. Now you got the true discount, you got the banker's discount. How do you get the banker's, face value? Face value is interest. The amount of bill means face value. Interest on FV gives you BD. So it is 120. So FNR upon 100 is 120. Sorry, 1220. F into N is what? Number of year. This is 4 upon 12. R is 5 upon 100. This is 1220. 4 5s are 20. This is 26 are 120. 61. 61 into 12. 1 2s are 2. 2 6 are 12 plus 1 13. 1 carry over 732. 00. So it is face value is rupees 73,200. Can you check the answers, Priti?
Sir, it's correct.
Next activity, the first question. A bill of rupees 8,000. A bill of rupees 8,000. Bill of rupees 8,000. Drawn on 5th January 2019. Drawn on for 8 months. Was discounted for 7680. On a certain date, find the date on which it was discounted at 10% per annum. So find the date on which it was discounted. Now this is 5th Jan for 8 months. So when I take 8 months from here, this is the first month. 8 month means September. So 5th September it is due, and then legally due on 8th September. the interest charged or the banker's discount is 8,000 minus 7680. So it is 320. This is the banker's discount. The banker's discount is the interest on the face value, and that is equal to 320. So it is FNR upon 100 equal to 320. F is 8,000. N number of days, we are not sure about that. N upon 365. Rate is 10%. Someone's mic is on. Now this is equal to 320. So here this and this gets cancelled. You have the number of days for which the interest is charged would be, this is 32, 8 fours are 8 tens are, now 5 twos are 573s are 2 twos are, so 146 days. The interest has been charged for 146 days. That means from here to here it is 146 days. Now if it is 146 days from there to there, we'll count it backwards. September, then August, then July, June, May, September, how many days? 8 days. August, 31 days. July, 31 days. 31 plus 31, 62, 8. This would be 30. This would be 31. 30 into 4 is 120. Then April, 128, and April would be 18 days. 128 plus 18. 34 are 120. 123 plus 8 is 131. This is 15 days. 34 are 120, 123 plus 8 is 131. Yeah, 15 days of April. 15 days of April means on 15th it was discounted. So discounted on 15th. Now, if you go to the fill in the blanks, date of drawing is this. Period is 8 months. So nominal due date is 5th September. Then legal due date is 8th September. Then BD is interest on face value. They have given this formula n equal to 146 days. They have gone backwards and said date of discounting is what? It is 15th of April. So this is the date of discounting, 15th of April.
Sir, it's correct.
In fact, here they have given you the answer. So indirectly they have given you the answer itself. Yeah, you're coming to the fill in the blank questions. The present worth of rupees 11,660 due 9 months hence is rupees 11,000. So present worth, question number 1, the second part, present worth is rupees 11,000 of rupees 11,660 means face value is 11,660, due 9 months hence means n is 9 months is equal to 9 upon 12 years, and true discount is interest on present worth. So it is or I can say true discount is face value minus present worth. Yeah, true discount is face value minus present worth, so it is 660. If a bill of rupees 6395 drawn on 15th Feb, 6395 for 10 months. 10 months means second month onwards till 10 months. So 15 December was, so it is legally due on 18th December. Yeah, they have asked you when is it legally due? 18th December. The date on which period of the bill expires is called as the nominal due date, and 3 days grace period is given on that. So the date on which period of the bill expires is called as the nominal due date. The difference between what and what. Question number 2, the second part. Difference between what and what is called as banker's gain. Banker's discount minus true discount is banker's gain. It is also interest on the true discount. The buyer is legally allowed 3 days grace period. The date on which bill is drawn is called as the draw date, or the, yeah. Can you check this? Draw date, date of drawing.
Date of bill.
Okay. Date of bill. Should have been date of drawing actually. Here, the trade discount, yeah, in fact, a person can, the sum due is also called as the, if only one discount, yeah. Now, next, we'll go on to the other type of problems here. This is about the second exercise problems. Now the other exercise problem. So here to remember, if I am a manufacturer, I give certain discount to the retailer, or you can say the wholesaler. So suppose I have printed the book price as 100 rupees. This is the MRP, or the catalog price, or the list price or catalog price. Now, I'll give a discount on this MRP at some rate to the wholesaler. Now, say I give 10% discount. That means he gets the book for 90 rupees. Now, if he sells it at 100, he'll get 10 rupee profit. That is more than 10%, remember, because he's investing 90 rupees and he's getting 100. I gave him a discount of 10%, but he's getting a profit of more than 10% if he sells it for 100, because he has invested this. I had given him discount on 100 rupees. Now, here, if I'm suppose supplying 1 lakh books to him, he would have 1 crore rupees of mine. He would have stock of 1 crore rupees of mine. Now, suppose he has to pay me 90 lakh rupees and he takes around 3 months to pay that, I would be in trouble. So I'll give him further discount. This is called as the invoice price. I'll make bill on this invoice price. Next, he would say, I am ready to give it right now, take it in cash, and I'll give him a further 2% or 3% or 5% discount on it. This is 5%, say, but that discount is not on this amount, it is on this amount. So this discount is called as a cash discount, and it is always on the invoice price. This discount is called as the trader's discount. To facilitate trade, that is also referred to as TD itself. Now, 5% cash discount, so it would be 4 rupees 50 paise. Subtracted, this would be 85.5. This is nothing but the invoice price minus the cash discount. This is the price at which the seller gets it. So this is the cost price for the wholesaler. Now, if he sells it at 100, he is going to get 14.5 on the cost price, not on this 100 rupee. Remember that. Having said this, we'll start with the sums here. Ananya gets a salary of 15,000 per month. Ananya gets a salary and a commission at 8% on sales over 50,000. I have kept Ananya as a salesperson in my firm. I am paying her 15,000 rupees per month, and I tell her I'll give you a commission of 8% on whatever sales you give me above 50,000. Till 50,000, that becomes mandatory for her, because she has to give me sales so that I'll give her some commission. If in some month she is not able to give any sales, I'll give her only 15,000, And even if she's not able to give any sales above 50,000, she'll get 15,000 itself. Any amount above 50,000, she'll get a commission on that, only above 50,000. So let us say here X is the sales given by Ananya. Let X be the sales given by Ananya. Now, her salary consists of, her income consists of two parts. One is salary and the other is commission. Her salary is 15,000 plus she gets a commission at 8%, 8% on sales over 50,000. So whatever sale she has given above 50,000, X minus 50,000, on that I give her 8%. So here the total income she receives is 17,400. Subtracted, you will get 2,400 equal to 8 upon 100 into X minus 50,000. This would be 8 3s are 300 into 100 would be 30,000 is equal to X minus 50,000. So X would be equal to 80,000 rupees. This is the sales that she has given me. Is it right?
Yes, sir.
Next. Swastik Distributors allows 15% discount on list price of washing machine. Allows 15% discount on list price of washing machine. So there is a washing machine on the list price is been given a 15% discount on the list price. Further 5% is given for cash payment. That is on cash payment. So this is the invoice price and on that 5%. And that would find the list price if it was sold for net amount of 38,356.25. This is the selling price. Now, here Swastik Distributors allows 15% discount on list price, further 5% on invoice price, and it was sold for 38.3. Now remember, if this is given and this is asked, we start with 100, we say when it is 100, it is this. So if it is this amount, then what would this be? We'll take it as inverse proportion. So what we'll do over here is we'll say, let this be 100 rupees. In that case, this would be 15 rupees, this would be 85 rupees. On that 5% means it would be 85 into 5. So 5 is a 25 to carry over 5 8 42 4.25 rupees. So that would be 81.75 rupees. That is the price at which she would get if the list price would have been 100 rupees. So when list price is 100, it is list price is 100. The selling price is 81.75. So what would be the list price when the selling price is this? So X would be equal to this into this upon this. So X is 38,356.25 upon 81.75 into 100. Now this should be a multiple of this term. When you divide it, you will realize this is 8 4s are 32. 8175 into 4 would be 32 and 32,700. Sorry, 200 into 4. So, yeah. Yes, 32,700. Then this would be 38. Can someone use a calculator and help me out with this? 56. This is 5.
So it is coming in decimal.
Decimals.
469.18.
And when you multiply it with 100,
1 minute, sir.
how is it possible? It should have been more than
46918.
46. Yeah, say.
It should be 8075, no?
Oh, sorry, it should have been 8075. Yeah, now divide and see. It should be a multiple. It cannot be, it should be a multiple, exact multiple it should be. You can do one thing, you can reduce it by 25 and then go on reducing it till you get the right figure. But right now when you have the calculator, check it. I have taught you all these calculations in depth.
So
Yeah.
47,000.
475.
475. So it is 47,500, right?
Yes, sir.
And that is the answer given behind.
Yes, sir.
Remember, when they give you the bottom amount and they ask you for the top amount, go with 100. And when they give you the top amount and ask you the bottom amount, go in the straight order.
So go in the straight order in the sense.
That means they would be giving list price is 50,000. Then they'll say 10% discount. So you find this 50,000, 10% discount is 5,000. Then it is 45,000. Followed?
Yes, sir, got it.
And if it is the bottom price which is given, then you assume this to be 100, find this value. Say when this is 100, this is this. So when this is this value, what is this value? Followed?
Yes, sir.
An agent sold a car and charged 3% commission on the sales value. So agent's commission is 3% on the sales value. Owner received 48,500. So amount owner receives is equal to selling price of car minus commission paid to the agent. Selling price of car is suppose X rupees. Agent's commission would be 3% on X. So I can say 97% of X has been received by the owner, and that is 48,500. So 97 and this would be 5. So 500. So X is 50,000. So the car was sold for 50,000 rupees. Now, agent charged 2% from the buyer also. So agent's commission is equal to 2% from buyer and 2% from seller. 2% of 50,000 plus 3% from the seller. So you can say it is 5% of 50,000. So that means it would be 2,500.
Sir, it's correct.
Now, next, this one. This is a tricky problem. I had mentioned it to you even when I taught you this sum. A retailer sold a suit for 8832 after allowing 8% discount on mark price and further a 4% on cash discount. Now, this is a tricky problem. Here, question number 5, the fourth part. Remember, sorry, third part. A retailer sold a suit after giving 8% discount on mark price and further 4% on cash price, and he still made 38% profit. So sold a suit for 8832. It was sold for 8832. He made 38% profit. So while selling it, he made 38% profit. Now, retailer sold for 8832 after allowing these two discounts. This is given, this has been asked. Find the mark price first. Mark price is simple. The cost price part is a bit tricky. Now, as I said, when this is given and this has been asked, the top part has been asked, we'll take 100 here, we'll say 8 on that, that means rupees 8 discount. Then here it would be 92 rupees, 4 on that means 3.68, and 92 minus 3.68 would be 88.32. This is 100 times of this, so this would also be 100 times of this. So mark price, straight away you get 10,000 rupees. You can say List price is 100, then mark price is, the list price is this, then selling price is this. So what should be the list price when selling price is this? Mark price is easy to find. Now observe this. I have a suit on which is worth 10,000 rupees, or the mark price of which is 10,000. I give an 8% discount to the customer, and then I tell that person that if you are buying it in cash, I'll give you 4% more. So 10% on 10,000 plus, sorry, 8% on 10,000, and then 4% additional on that amount, and I sold it for 8832 to that person. But in doing so, I earned a profit because my cost price was less than 8832. Now, if you observe, I earned 38% profit while selling it at 8832. So let X be my cost price. I have earned 38%, so 38x upon 100 is my profit. This plus this is 8832. Remember this. So that means 138% of X is 8832. So X would be 138. This would be what? What is this calculator? On the calculator? Should be 6 something.
So 60.
64.
64. So X is 6,400 rupees. So this is my cost price. So cost price is 6,400. So remember this, here the cost price is should be less than 8832. This is a tricky problem.
So it will be the same as x plus 38% of x is equal to 10,000, right?
No, how can it be 10,000? This plus
No,
this.
not 10,000, sorry, 8832.
Yes, X plus 38% means 138%.
Yeah.
Activity second. 3 cars were sold through an agent for 2,40,000, 2,22,000 and 2,25,000. The rate of commission, first one 17.5% of 2,40,000 plus 12.5% on 2,22,000 plus 14 plus 12.5% on the second and R% on the third. We are not sure what is the percentage on the third, and these three together, this is the selling price. So 2,40,000 plus 2,22,000, that is 4,62,000. 6,87,000 is the total selling price. On the total, I earned 14%. So 14% of this is my earning. So we have to find R. Now here you can get all these cancelled. You can say this and this gets cancelled, or rather I'll say here this is 17.5, 175 upon 1000. This is 125 upon 1000. Here this would be 25 sevens are 25, 40s are 40, 6,000 into 7. So it would be 42,000 for this case. This would be 125, 8s are 8, 2s are 16, 6 2, 8 sevens are 56, 60, 8 sevens are 56, 40, 8 5s are 27, 750. And plus this would be R upon 100 into this. So R into 2250, and this would be if I take 14 into this, then 7 4s are, first of all 10, 7 4s are 28, 2 carry over, 4 8s are 32 plus 7 39 plus 2 41, 4 carry over, 4 6 are 24 plus 8 32 plus 4 36, 3 carry over, 0 plus 6 plus 3 9. So it would be 96180. When you subtract this, it would be 96180 minus 69 750 equal to R into 2250. This would be, you can have multiple ways to calculate it. 61, this is 11 minus 7, 4. 95, 15 minus 9 is 6. And this would be 7 minus 8 minus 6 is 2. R into 2250. Have I gone wrong in the calculation anywhere? This would be 2, 6, 8, 4, 12, 3, 15, 2, 2, 4, 5, 9. 375 are 3 9s are 20, 3 8s are 24, 2 4 1, 8 8 16 1 17, 881. So 75 and 881, it would be 75 ones are 75, 1 3 1, 75 ones are 75, 25 56 560. I think I made some mistake here. What mistake have I made? Tell me quickly. Have I made mistake in calculation somewhere? Can someone multiply with a calculator and tell me whether I made mistake in addition, subtraction, calculation anywhere? Anyone there who is alive and kicking? Anyone? Anyone there who can speak, who has not lost the ability to speak? Anyone there? Should I drop the sum and move further? Is there no one who can speak right now? Yeah, anyone there who can tell me what has gone wrong here in the calculation?
So I did the sum. I got the same calculations, but I've not divided the sum yet.
You got the same calculations?
Yes.
14%. Did you get 96,180 for 14%?
Yes, sir.
Then did you get 42,000 for the commission on first car?
Yes, sir.
Commission on second car 27,750?
Yes, so the entire thing is right, but I just didn't divide the last R.
Division, I haven't gone wrong anywhere, I guess.
Yeah, sir, it is correct.
If it would have been correct, I shouldn't have got answer in 1.1% and all. I'm getting 1.1% here. Oh, sorry, it is not 1.1, it is 11 point. My God. Yeah, 75. This is 11.77. 5 sevens are 35, 3 carry over, 525, 350, 75 fours are. So it is 11.74%. Whether it is right or wrong, I don't care because you don't speak up. So I'm just going to do the sums.
So, but behind the answer is given as x is equal to 47,500.
X is equal to
47,500.
what is 47,500 now? How can rate of commission be 47,500? I remember this answer was somewhere close to this itself, 11.74%. Yeah. Now, coming to question number 1, the first part. A salesman receives 3% commission on sales up to 50,000, 4% on sales over 50,000. His total income on the sale of rupees 2 lakh is what? Total he has made 2 lakh rupees of sales. For the first 50,000, he gets 3%. And plus he gets 4% on sales over 50,000. So that means 2 lakh minus 50,000. And this is equal to 4% of this equal to his total income is what? So it is 1,500 plus this would be what? Now 2,50,000, 4 upon 100 into this is 1,50,000. is equal to 1500 plus 6000. It is equal to 7500. Yeah, the mark price is also called as the list price. Question number 1, fifth part.
So behind for the first one, the option is given C, B option, sorry. 7, B option for the first one.
Which one is that?
7550.
Just check whether I have gone wrong in the calculation anywhere. Anyone, can you check there?
No, sir.
Have I gone wrong in this calculation anywhere?
No, sir.
Yeah. The next one. So the mark price is also called as the list price. I think this is right. I don't think it is wrong. So this is, you said Smriti, it is 7550, right?
Yes, sir.
Next here. An agent who gives guarantee to the principal that the party will pay the sale price of the goods. That is called as the Del creditor agent who gives guarantee to his principal that the party will pay the sale price of the goods. Just check the answer. Is
Sir,
it
it's
Del?
correct.
Is it Del creditor?
Yes, sir.
Gives guarantee to the principal. Then when transactions like sale or purchase auction are done through middlemen, such middlemen are called as agents or brokers. What have they given?
Agent.
Okay. Agents. The trade discount is first calculated on the catalog price. Yes, the trade discount is first calculated on the catalog price. Is it true or false? It is true. A factor is an agent who's, a factor is an agent who is given the position of goods and enters a contract for sale in his or her own name. Yes, true. Is it correct?
Yes, sir.
If only one discount is given, then list price equal to invoice price. Yes, one discount is given means on the invoice price there is no further discount. So, no, list price is not equal to invoice price. List price cannot be equal to invoice price. So that is wrong, false.
So, but they have given it as true.
How can list price be equal to invoice price? One discount is given.
So when trade discount is applied, so
Yeah,
we get invoice. No.
but list price and one trade discount is applied, we get the invoice price. Is this invoice price equal to the list price? Is this invoice price equal to the list price?
No, sir.
Yeah, that is what.
False.
So this is fifth one, right?
Yeah, fifth one.
So they have given false.
So you, one discount. So who said it is true?
So I thought you did the third one.
No, fifth one. I was about to mark it wrong. Yeah. So with this, I put an end to this topic. I'll move on to the next topic, insurance and annuity.
The third is also true, right?
So you did not do the third and the fourth, true or false.
I didn't do it earlier. person can get both trade discount and cash discount. Yes, he can get both. The sum due is also called as a cash value. Sum due is also called as the cash value. Yes. Sum due. No, sum due is also called as a cash value. Sum due. Yes, actually it is a selling price.
So sum due is the face value.
Yeah, the sum due is the face value. It shouldn't be the cash value. So it is face value, not the cash value. Now I was thinking, what is the answer given? Is it true or false?
False.
False. Now what I was thinking is sum due means what? When you have given a discount on list price, that is the invoice price. On that, when you give the cash discount, you get the cash price, and that is nothing but the sum due. So that is what I was thinking about. That is the cash price or the cost price. So this is different in meaning. It is sum due is called as the face value. Anyway, so with this I put an end to the first topic. I'll take up the next topic, that is insurance and annuity.